Okay, so last time we discussed the difference between the character of an animal versus the character of a human being, or all the animalistic characteristics are natural, but a human being has his midas, his character is based on his intellect. That's one difference. The animal's character is natural. A human being, he has additional intelligence, and his midas, his feelings, his emotions are govern them. And another difference between them is that it's not only, hey, Maurice, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Okay. Not only is the human being endowed with additional intellect to govern his feelings, but the center of our feelings comes from our intellect. The intellect is what all of our feelings are based on. But then we learned that Hashem gives us something beyond intellect and feelings. He gives us a neshama, and a neshama has something godly in its intellect. As we're learning on Friday, that Hashem gives a Jew the ability not just to look at things based upon our selfish needs and wants, not just based upon being objective about what the way things are, but Hashem gives us the ability to totally rise above a human perspective and to ask the question, what is Hashem's intent in whatever it is? Rabbi Reichik, the Rebbe's first emissary here to Los Angeles, he was a Holocaust survivor, and he was in Shanghai, and he came to New York. And his first letter to the previous Rebbe was, please let me know the divine intent of why God brought my soul from Shanghai to New York. What am I doing here? That's a deeper question. It's not just, animal, just natural, I want. Human being has also intelligence. Well, what should I want, maybe? A godly soul's question is it doesn't start with me. It starts with Hashem. What is Hashem's intent over here? So we're going to see what the animal soul's 7 characteristics are, and what a human being's 7 characteristics are. Let's go right to it. We're on page 181, and let's go to the line that starts with the word nefesh habamis. And nefesh habamis, the animal soul is the intellect, and the yetzer hara are the feelings. Let me just explain what that means. The Hebrew words yetzer hara. You know the yetzer hara called, but you don't have yetzer hara. You haven't heard of it? People who know people have yetzer hara, right? Everybody has. I don't know about animals, but let's talk about us. We don't have to go so far. The word yetzer hara means an evil painter. Why evil painter? Because the yetzer hara is what makes us look at things in the wrong image. It tells us the wrong story, the wrong narrative, what we see. He tells us that what's really good and helpful and beautiful, he tells us that's ugly and disgusting. And what's really ugly, he tells us this is beautiful, this is amazing, this is what you should be attracted to. So the animal soul is the intellect that guides the yetzer hara. The yetzer hara is working off of what information is being given to it by the animal soul. The animal soul is a little bit more objective. Animal soul is selfish. Animal soul looks at things with very coarse, down-to-earth way. And based upon that analysis, based upon what it sees and what it hears and what it understands, then the yetzer hara now develops that. But to counter that, Hashem gave us yetzer tov. Yetzer tov tells us that what's good is good, what's bad is bad. And this is the playing field of a Jew. So let's go into the various emotions of the yetzer hara. Chesed, Yi'ava, Gufnis, Linyanei. I think that's a copy over there. One second. Chesed means, chesed, the animal soul, is the love, the physical love the animal soul has to worldly things. Chesed shebechesed, Yislavus, Tuvtam, 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 Chesed within chesed of the animal soul is its excitement and its taste, its good taste for physical pleasures. That's chesed b'chesed. The chesed of chesed, the animal soul, is how geshmak, how we say lezat, the pleasure of the animal soul in the most physical, lowest things. Gvura b'chesed yasin li'sheter mitzvos. In this Maamar, Gvura is translated as hatred. As we discussed, it's more of a sharper translation than in regular discourses. But Gvura b'chesed of the animal soul is hatred to those who keep the Torah mitzvahs. Sefer is, as a pasuk says, a wicked person praises himself because of his pleasures. He says, not just I want to get that great car. He tells all his friends, you know what I did today? I bought this Aston Martin. I bought this. He is proud of what he likes. I had this steak. I had this car. I got this house. He boasts and is proud of what he loves, what he enjoys. He enjoys all kinds of physical things, and he's teferes. He's proud of it. Netzach shebechesed. What's netzach in chesed? Netzach of chesed means someone who not only sins himself, but he tries to get other people to do mistakes too. Nothing stops him. He says, this is the way it's supposed to be, and he tries to influence other people. What is he? The Gemara says, a person does not do an avera unless he has benefit from it. But this guy is going to step further. He has in him this sense of like anger, I guess it's what's driving him, but it says it's chesed. He's so into his love for the physical that he insists on encouraging other people to do the wrong thing as well. You see from this discourse that the Frierdiker Rebbe is addressing certain people that were at that time that exhibited this Hoyt Shebechesed. We're going to describe it in a second. Hoyt Shebechesed, the Gemara says about Amalek. Amalek is someone who knows his creator, and he deliberately goes against Hashem. So what does Hoyt Shebechesed mean? The Gemara discusses two kinds of people who rebel against Hashem. There's mumlati oven, someone who rebels against Hashem just to satisfy his desires. And then there's someone else who rebels against Hashem to anger Hashem. So it's not just this guy has this heart that he wants just to fulfill all of his desires, and he just can't stop himself. He wants to deliberately anger Hashem. He wants to go against Hashem. He wants to spite Hashem. That's Hoyt Shebechesed. Yesod Shebechesed is that he's bonded with his physical pleasures, with his lowly pleasures. He will kill to get what he wants. Yesod Shebechesed means he's so bonded with what he wants that he won't stop. He'll even kill to do that. In other words, he'll have difference between Yesod and Hoyd and Netzach is that in Yesod he is bonded, he's attached to it in a way that he'll justify anything to get it. He'll justify things in a way that it hurts himself. Netzach and Hoyd, yeah, he's fighting against Hashem, he's influencing others to averis, but here that it's with sacrifice. He's not affected by anything that will hurt him as a result of fulfilling his lusts. Even if it will hurt his health, someone will kill him for what he's going to do. He still won't stop because he's so attached. It sounds to me like an addict. He's mekusher. He's attached to something. He's attached to this pleasure. And therefore, it doesn't matter if he has to kill to get the drugs, he has to steal to get the drugs. He's not just Netzach Shebechesed, somebody who won't stop to get what he wants, but there's still a limit. This guy's not going to put his life on the line to go for it. Netzach is stubborn. But Yesod Shebechesed is not just that he's stubborn, he can't see anything else. Yisrael B'Chesed is a guy who can't say anything else. He is in the zone of like, many, unfortunately, addicts. One addict said, "I would go to my mother and take out her golden tooth, out of her, to sell it to get drugs. They can't even think anymore." That's Yisrael B'Chesed. That there's a bonding toward this lust. They can't even think about anything else. Different world, right? They're bonded. They're attached to something else. They're attached to evil in a way that they. It's interesting that there's one discourse that previous Rebbe talks about what to do when you're in this situation. If I remember correctly, he says you have to turn to Hashem and ask Him for help, which sounds very much like the 12 steps of addicts. As they talk about the higher power and giving yourself over to Hashem and asking Hashem for help, it sounds very similar in that discourse, but for another time. Malchus b'chesed. Malchus of chesed means, as we learned last week, malchus is the expression. So malchus is when a person talks about things which are forbidden, talks about his heresy. There are people who put out in their words and in their writing, they write denial of Hashem and His Torah. They scorn Hashem, they scorn His Torah. They make articles about it. They make blogs about it. They publicize how much they scorn Hashem. By them acting in this wild way, without any inhibition, without any limitation, of these people who deny Hashem, they make the whole world to be a more coarse world. The world gets lower because of what they're doing. By them putting out all these crazy things about how they scorn this mitzvah and that mitzvah, and it makes the world lower. It's the opposite of God's intent. Why did God make the world? Hashem made the world to the Jewish people by doing the Torah mitzvahs to make the world a more refined world. That's through the influence of the godly soul's intellect and feelings. When you see now what the godly soul's intellect and feelings are, and Hashem wants us to use the godly soul's intellect and feelings to change the animal soul's intellect and feelings. So we explained the 7 characteristics of the animal soul, chesed to malchus, and now we're going to go into the 7 characteristics of the godly soul. One in Zev. Chesed hu ava tivis sheyesh nefesh lakus. Chesed is the natural love that the godly soul has for Hashem. Chesed shebe chesed hu she'ava tivis v'alkisti mizgal v'alkich shalei. Chesed, when the chesed means that your natural love for Hashem is revealed in your whole being. Just like we learned earlier on about chesed shebe chesed of the animal soul, that he loves his pleasures and he's attached to them, he's excited about them. So too a Jew loves Hashem and he becomes excited about it, that it fills his whole being, this love for Hashem. There are 2 kinds of love we talk about in Shema. There's love with all your heart. By the way, Maurice and Zev, if you guys show your faces, it wouldn't hurt. No one's going to know. In Shema, thank you. In Shema, we talk about love with all your heart and love with all your soul. Oh, love, hello. Love with all your heart means that your heart is full of love of Hashem. And because your heart is full of love of Hashem, you'll do things for Hashem. Love with all your soul means you run to Him. It means the love for Hashem gives you this kind of zippity doodah in your feet, that you jump up to Him. Like yesterday, I asked Kobe over here to, thank you, Maurice. Yesterday, I asked Kobe to help out with the shul to be swept from someone who took all the brownies and decided to sprinkle them throughout the shul. So Kobe jumps and runs to the mitzvah. Where does it come from? That's called chesed of chesed. Your love for Hashem is just envelops you. You're like excited. Wow, great, clean the shul, fantastic. You know, that there are people like that. Thank you. That's chesed of chesed. A person whose love for Hashem is b'chol nafshecha, it permeates his whole being. He runs naturally to a mitzvah. That kind of love pushes away the pleasures of the physical. Just like we said, that the body has a geshmak and a pleasure from the physical, so the love we have for Hashem pushes away the love for the physical. It makes us enjoy the world less. The fact that we're so excited for the Eibishter and we love Hashem with all our heart and soul, that takes away and pushes away the love for the physical. Something like this one. Means you hate those who hate Hashem. As the Torah says, those who love Hashem hate evil. And there are some people, the Torah says, you're supposed to hate them absolute hatred. But actually in chapter 32 in Tanya, the Alter Rebbe emphasizes, David HaMelech said that. Don't try this at home. Don't try to figure out who you're supposed to hate. Only David HaMelech could say this. Tanya doesn't usually quote people's names. It says in the Pasuk. It says, David HaMelech says this. The Rebbe says, he says, only David HaMelech could do this. Only someone who's a tzaddik, David HaMelech could say, this person deserves hatred. That's Gvura of Chesed. You hate those who hate Hashem. What's the Sefer Shebechesed? It says in the Torah, his heart was uplifted in the ways of Hashem. That's Teferes of Chesed. He's proud of what he's doing. He's proud of that he's a Jew. He's proud of his Torah mitzvahs. He feels that this is a beautiful thing that he's doing. He feels the beauty of what he's doing. He feels this is great. I love what I'm doing. Teferes Shebechesed means that he walks around and he wears a yarmulke and he's proud. This is what I do. This is a great life. I love this. It feels beautiful. He feels this is just special what I'm doing. And not just he feels special, but he invests to get the best esrog, the best tefillin, the best lulav. He wants to be whatever's for Hashem. He feels yeah. Right. Oh, very good. That's a very important point. You get the beautiful esrog, it brings tears in your eyes. You get a beautiful car, it doesn't bring tears. You get a nice car, it's great. It stops there. You pat your style, I got the nice car, and that's it. But get a beautiful menorah, get a beautiful, it brings tears. It's very interesting. Very, very good point. The netzach of chesed means that you overcome your animal soul. You overcome Yetzer Hara. You love Hashem. You say, I'm not going to listen to you guys. I'm going all the way. Hoy shebechesed means means you stand against those who deny Hashem with great power to denigrate them and to uproot their influence. You are there to fight against them. Netzach is how you overcome the obstacles within, and Hoyd is how you deliberately go without. You submit yourself to your chesed, your love for Hashem, cause you to submit yourself to fight the wars of Hashem. When someone's standing against Hashem, disgracing Hashem, you're there protecting Hashem. Yesod shebechesed, what's Yesod? Bonding with your kindness, you're bonding with your love to Hashem. What does that mean? Haskashus nefesh, that's where there's Mesiras Nefesh. There's enjoying this chesed shebechesed means you love Hashem and you love Him all the way. You're very excited about Hashem. Yesod shebechesed is different. Yesod shebechesed is that you're ready to die for Hashem. It's just like we said about the animal soul. He's ready to die to get what he wants. Yesod shebechesed means he's ready to die because of his love for Hashem. He loves Hashem, and it doesn't matter what Hashem is asking him to do. The Master of Shalom, famously, he got up the Nazis rounded up the Jews in I don't remember which city it was, and they got them all in the synagogue and they burned the synagogue. And he was there, and someone managed to escape. And he said that before the Nazis killed everybody, he got up and he said, "We're going to the mitzvah of Kiddush Hashem. We just need to say the bracha, blessed are you Hashem, who sanctified us with the mitzvah of Kiddush Hashem." And we have to have in mind that we're doing this not because we want to get Gan Eden, but rather it's just for the sake of honoring and sanctifying Hashem's name. That's Yesod of Chesed. The Yid is bound with Hashem in a way that there is nothing else. What's Malchus Shebechesed? Malchus Shebechesed, next page. He's always saying words of Torah, words of Tefillah. Because he loves Hashem, he's always saying words of Torah, always saying words of Tefillah. You know, a friend of mine, I won't embarrass anybody right now, but he talks about how when he needs to have he needs to have a cup of water, he needs to have something to eat, so he can say a bracha. He doesn't care about the food. He wants to say a bracha, and therefore he wants to have food around him, so he can say the words of Torah. But could say Tehillim also. But anyways, but there is this element of love for Hashem, and therefore you always want to say words of Torah, words of Tefillah. This is how, with all of these 7 character traits of the godly soul, this is how you overcome the character traits of the Yetzer Hara, and this is how you purify your intellectual character. In other words, there's something that your intellect helps you fix your character with. Then there's something that your neshama adds a whole new dimension to your character refinement. So by employing these seven character traits, by not just the intellectual soul can tell you that physical pleasures aren't that great. Physical pleasures have a limit. You eat and then you say Asher Yotzer. That's what the intellectual soul can tell you. The godly soul can tell you, the Eibishter is. You should love Hashem. Hashem is truth. Hashem is life. Hashem is goodness. That excitement for love of Hashem makes the appeal of the physical far less. So by revealing the godly soul's feelings, that diminishes the animal soul's feelings. As we say every day, we don't say every day, we think every day. We put on tefillin. It says when you put on tefillin, you're supposed to have in mind of all the miracles. Think about all the miracles God did for us, took us out of Mitzrayim, and He wants us to put on tefillin so that we should dedicate the feelings of our heart to Hashem, dedicate the thoughts in our minds to Hashem, so that we have less pleasure from the world. By being conscious of all the miracles and wonders, the greatness of Hashem, we're not so into the physical. That's what the godly soul contributes. And that's what the Torah means. We asked at the beginning of the Maimer, why is the Torah saying you should count for yourself? Who else is going to count? So the simple meaning is that you can't rely on the Jewish court to count. You got to count yourself. There's a deeper meaning. Which means make your you pure and clear. Purify your you. Svarat doesn't just mean you personally should count. It also means make your life count. Make not about what you're going to do. Make your inside good. Make yourself good. In other discourses, doesn't mention it here, but in other discourses, it points out the word Spartem is related to the word sapphire. Hashem is asking us not just to be okay, to beautify ourselves, to be really who we could be. That's the power of these days. It's not a mitzvah about what you're going to do. There are mitzvahs about what you're going to do, what you're going to say, what you're going to think. Usfarta Lechem is a unique mitzvah. Hashem is asking us, I want you to be different. Usfarta Lechem, I want you to beautify yourself. You should fix out what's going on inside. Well, we mentioned earlier that there are 3 people will come with 3 magol. What's a magol? A magol is a sickle. That's what it's called. Magol is a sickle, right? The 3 sickles, and they get 3 different measurements, and they put in 3 different baskets. What's the 3 emphasis regarding the Omer? You have 3 people with 3 sickles, with 3 baskets, with 3 measurements. The emphasis is number 3 because predominantly the 3 first midas, chesed, nur, teferes, are the main character traits of the soul, and the number 3 therefore is emphasizing that the goal of the midah of the Omer is to touch your character. Number 3, it represents our character because the main character traits of the neshama are chesed, nur, teferes. The oimer is moist, that represents chesed. Drying it in fire represents gvura. The 13 sieves are the 13 attributes of mercy. It doesn't explain in this mimer why we need to know about the 13 attributes of mercy. I could just guess that whatever you're going to do, you need Hashem's help. You have to ask Hashem to have Rahmanas on you. So you need to ask the mercy from Hashem to be able to fix your character. You want to fix your character, you need assistance from Hashem. It doesn't go by itself. There's a beautiful vart in the B'nai Marash, unbelievable. You hear this vart once and never forget it. It's unbelievable vart. The Gemara says, everything is in the hand of Hashem except for fear of Hashem. The simple translation of what the Gemara is saying is, Hashem does everything, but there's one thing He leaves for you. The B'nai Marash said it means something far more. Everything is in the hands of Hashem. You ask Hashem for anything, you don't know what He's going to say. Hashem always listens to us. A Mashiach will come back, and the Tzemach Tzedek says we'll see how every prayer did something, how every prayer makes some effect. But you don't always have the result that you want to have. That happens, something that happens here. There's one thing Hashem cannot say no to. He can say no. Everything is in the hands of Hashem to say yes or no. There's one thing he can't say no. When a Jew turns to Hashem and he says to him, Hashem, help me with my Yiras Shamayim. Help me become a better Jew. Help me become a better servant of you. Help me have more fear of you. Help me be a way I'm supposed to be. Hashem looks at his child and says, you want to become better? Imagine your child comes over to you and says, Dad, I want to become a better child. I want to be a better son. You can say no to your son. You can't say no. Your son says, I want to become a better son. I want to learn how to become a better. How could I be a better son? You're not going to help him. He's asking for help. So Abisha can't say no to that. So that's perhaps what the Rebbe Frika was alluding to with the 13 sieves, the 13 attributes of mercy. Maybe he's referring 13 sieves. The Omer is because Akol b'dei Shamayim, chutz mir Shamayim. It's not in the day Shamayim. Your Shamayim is not in his hands. He can't say. Yeah. About time is saying this. The source of that Gemara. Very interesting. Pointing out, Tanya says something similar. Tanya, it says the fact we say a bracha, blessed are you Hashem who forgives us, is a proof Hashem forgives us. But he says another bracha. We say before that, blessed are you Hashem who wants us to do tshuva. So it must be, if we're saying this bracha, for sure Hashem wants to do tshuva and helps to do tshuva. There's another Gemara which says clearly, habola time is say. Someone who wants to become pure, Hashem helps him become pure. Okay, so when can you count the Omer? I mean, this activity is when can you find those character traits? We asked them, getting the Maimer, it says you're supposed to count the Omer the day after Shabbos. But not the day after Shabbos, it's the day after Pesach. Why does it say the day after Shabbos? The answer is Shabbos means Shvis Menachas Eilam. Hakar Muchatz Yehudi Chayav Lismaser Termitzis. In other discourses, it points out that the power we have to refine our character traits comes from a level beyond Shabbos. Just like Parsha Shmini means number 8. It's something which is beyond nature, beyond what the world says, beyond the order of the regular spiritual cosmic order. The 8 represents the infinite. So to the power to refine our character traits comes from a level beyond Shabbos. That says in other discourses. Here, the previous Rebbe explains what it means in our service of Hashem. He says, you know what Shabbos means? Shabbos means it's recognition that you have to let go of worldly things. Let go of the way the world looks at things. Shabbos is like this moment in your life, just again as on a weekly level, that you say, I'm stopping to go on my phone, I'm stopping to go to work, I'm going to now go to shul. Shabbos is this letting go of the physical. So too there is in your life a Shabbos. What's in your life a Shabbos? A decision that I have to devote myself to Torah mitzvahs. That's what Shabbos means. Shabbos, you can have Shabbos any day of the week. Shabbos means I have to devote myself to Torah mitzvahs. That's what Shabbos is. When can you fix your character? It starts with a Shabbos. It starts with saying, I'm done. I need to devote myself to Torah mitzvahs. When a Jew makes an effort to fix his 7 Shabbos and the 7 parts of his character. And the 7 character traits of his godliness should elevate the 7 character traits of the Yetzer Hara and his natural feelings. Then God promises you, when you try and you make an effort, Hashem promises you will be complete. So in short, Kitzer, what do we say in this paragraph? When the Torah tells us you should count for yourself, it means you're supposed to fix up with your godly souls, intellect, and feelings. You're supposed to fix up your you. You're supposed to make your you pure. Fix up your character. How do you do this? Chesed means love. Chesed of chesed means loving Hashem with all your soul. Gvura means listening. Gvura of chesed means to hate those who deny Hashem. Tiferes of chesed means Tiferes of chesed means beauty in your service of Hashem, finding the beauty and making it beautiful the way you serve Hashem, beautifying your service of Hashem. Netzach chesed means to overcome your animal soul and Yetzer Hara. Hod chesed means to stand against not just your own animal soul, your own Yetzer Hara, but to stand against those who trying to influence the world with their heresy and to defend the Torah. Yesod Shebachassid means this bond with Torah mitzvahs to the point of sacrifice, and Malchus Shebachassid means to say words of Torah, words of tefillah all the time. Any questions or comments or criticism or tomatoes or cucumbers? All right.